Okay, so I was meditating here in this beautiful forest, and I have a little message for my divine masculines on a journey. Once again, I know it's not Monday, but we are in the era of masculines awakening 2026, 2027, very important years. I've been talking about this for a while now, so I'm going to be definitely popping on with more messages. This is specifically for divine masculines on a divine love journey, twin flame journey. However, look at the sun. However, it's something that it's an information that can be helpful for anyone. So when we talk about divine journey, we often say that there is a separation, and during that separation, the feminine embarks on a soul journey, so soul healing journey. She releases the shadows, she activates her high priestess within, she collects the pieces of the soul. So that's a process that we call fragmentation of a soul. We pull back all the energy that we've left through pain and through humiliation and through any low vibrational things in different timelines, realms, wherever that would be. You pull it back in for the wholeness of the soul. Whereas what masculine does is he embarks on his karmic quest, because masculine energy is more attached to the lower chakras, to the physical plane of existence. So he works on the level of 3D. So he goes through the shadows of the matrix, and he learns lessons through living those lessons, right? So the feminine at certain points, yes, we're going to have some karmic lessons, we're going to have certain things reflected to us in the physical world, but many lessons will come on a level of a soul, on a level of energy, many pains that we need to process. Whereas the masculine, because you operate more on a 3D level, you actually have to go through things, live through things, experience the things, right? To get humiliated to understand humiliation, get heartbroken to understand heartbreak, and so on and so forth. And we often say that the masculines sometimes have karmic contracts that they have to complete. And I hear this opinion online that sometimes the separation gets prolonged because the feminine is already ready, the feminine is already in her state of wholeness, she's returned back home, she's let go, she's detached, she's living her mission, she's living her life, but on a level of energy, she's already ready to hold that energy of divine union. That's a very potent energy. And sometimes we usually say that that gap in time is anywhere between 6 to 18 months. So it's usually like a cycle. It can be up to 2 cycles. And meanwhile, masculine catches up, but sometimes, sometimes the masculine, that period gets prolonged because the masculine has, and that's the opinion that I've heard online, because the masculine has specific karmic contracts to complete that sometimes involve different women, sometimes involve children, pregnancies, and so on and so forth. So the message that I want to share with you today is that as much as all this is true, there's an important component that I think people are not necessarily fully understanding, and that is karma. What is really karma and how karma works? Because yes, he has karmic contracts to complete, but here's the thing. Karma is something that we complete on a level of self. People think that karma is something that we have to go through because we have to pay for certain things, certain wrongs that we did in the past. But the time element and the intensity element of the karma is because we are not understanding the lessons and the growth that come in through specific situations. To explain this to you specifically through an example, as a soul, right, you shed your physical body, your consciousness returns back to spirit realm. Not that it ever left, it's not a physical thing, but you know what I mean. And the reason you want to return and you want to sign more karmic contracts for your next lifetime is because you haven't understood certain things in that lifetime, right? So let's say in this lifetime you had a partner that hurt you, that abused you, that humiliated you, and you left that partner, but you cannot find it in you to forgive, because forgiveness is the key to release karma. Forgiveness to self and forgiveness for everyone who's done you harm. We forgive through understanding the lesson and the opportunity of growth within that experience. So you return to spirit realm and you think to yourself, man, I was like literally on my deathbed and I couldn't find forgiveness. I still hated this person. I still resented this person, which basically means that I, as a human, did not understand that this person came to teach me a lesson. This person brought me pain to bring me opportunity to ascend, to expand, to grow as a human being, and I did not see that opportunity. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to experience something that's going to be even worse, or it's going to be a reverse situation, so I can understand this person and the pain of this person that inflicted pain within me. And again, it's a misunderstanding. Hell doesn't exist. Karma, in a sense of hell, it doesn't exist. It's not that you're being punished. It's not punishment. It has nothing to do with punishment. It's a wisdom of a soul that wants to experience specific things to learn and expand, because in past lifetimes or in certain situations, you did not actually get that right. You were still guided by the ego, by the pride, by the pain. You couldn't transmute that. You couldn't let that go, right? So you couldn't expand as a soul. So the soul wants to try again. So back to the example, when you are that masculine and you feel that you have certain karma that you have to pay, maybe you're already aware of this. Maybe you're already thinking to yourself, like, I cannot return to my feminine because I have this and that and I have to deal with this and that. All these karmic situations and all the karma that we carry as a human being, be it on this journey or any other journey, we can release immediately on a level of self. How? When you find yourself in karmic situation, when you find yourself in a situation with another person that you feel that there's a karmic depth involved. So again, let's give that example of the masculine. Let's say you are with a woman, right? And you feel that you cannot liberate yourself from that woman, that she is still manipulating you. Maybe it is through children, through pregnancy. Usually karmic connections for masculines are quite low vibrational. You don't have to stay in this connection and suffer for a specific amount of time. Similarly with connections to family member, karmic situations at work, you release at the moment, you understand, what is this person trying to teach me? Because again, everything that we feel, it's actually passive. No one can manipulate you as long as you don't allow yourself to be manipulated. No one can chain you as long as you don't allow yourself to be chained. No one can humiliate you as long as you don't allow yourself to be humiliated. So if you go deep enough on yourself to understand every karmic contract that you're currently going through and you're currently completing, you can find it in you to expand and to release the shadow that is convincing you that you have to stay in that situation. Forgive yourself, forgive this person, understand where this person is coming from, understand what this contract was supposed to teach you and what was the opportunity to expand. You close that within a millisecond. You can close all your karmic contracts that you currently have open as a human being within milliseconds. So it's not a specific divine timing that you have to stay in this contract before you're going to have to let go and then return to your feminine. You're going to stay as long as you understand that you are the one to decide when the karmic contract closes. Just like you are the one to decide when the separation ends. There is no right time. You make the time right. There is no right moment. There is no readiness. You decide when you are ready.